Hi, I'm Rob. I'm here with Lillian Duggan. Lillian, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you first became involved with the Queensland Shakespeare Ensemble?
Sure. Lillian, as Rob said, all the way from Ireland, been over here for a fair few years. But whilst I was in Ireland, I did a lot of acting, then went to London, did a fair bit of acting, moved to Australia, settled down, had some kids, didn't do acting for a good 19 years. And then I think it was via Facebook, one of your ads or something. And I just had decided I want to do something in Shakespeare because I trained in the classics and I really missed it. And I got a yearning. And then I found this course, which was a full weekend over a long weekend scene study course in Shakespeare. So I enrolled and the rest is history.
So your first involvement with the company was through one of our training courses.
Yes. Yeah.
And what was your experience of that? What did you leave after that long weekend feeling of that experience?
Oh, I felt very invigorated, whetted my appetite to want to do a lot more with you guys, especially. So that led me to do Shakespeare in Your Own Voice after that. And then I did a bit more research, asked some questions, decided I'd like to audition for you guys. So auditioned, and thankfully you put me into the corps. So I did the corps all last year.
And you were in the corps ensemble last year, as you say, and yet you're still involved with the company this year as well.
So I resigned from the corps, but offered to still run the portfolio for Shakespeare Shorts. So what I do with that is help Rebecca Murphy, organize all the backstage stuff, rehearsals, that sort of thing. And I'm in the Shakespeare Shorts in Express Macbeth. So this year is very exciting. We're performing an awful lot in the the Moreton Bay Anywhere Festival, and a few other things that are coming up.
Wonderful. If I could just take you back to your experience with our training, since, as you say, you did a couple of our training courses before eventually auditioning for the ensemble. What was it that you took out of our training that you think you've carried with you into your work since that time?
I was taught a lot of different things, actually. Your talks about Shakespeare, about the way he writes, even about the way you directed it was quite refreshing for me. I loved it. I really did. Normally I get a bit claustrophobic when I'm stuck in places, but I didn't. I found it very interesting. And I've passed it on to the kids I teach. Firstly, working with punctuation, then throwing that away, breathing at the end of lines. That's all I can think of at the moment, but I will be still processing. And just different. With Shakespeare in their own voice, it was the different ways that the director, Rebecca, kind of either contorted your body, so your mind was contorted, shone different lights on different ways of doing it, so you don't get locked into one specific way of doing Shakespeare, that you can break free of the shackles. And it was the same with the scene study as well. Line feeding, so you had a lot more freedom in the initial stages. Also, something as basic as learn your lines before you even start the work, because then you're free to explore everything. So, and that's what I brought to what I teach as well.
So would it be fair to say that there were some things that you encountered in our training which hopefully didn't contradict any of the training you'd done before, but which were fresh and perhaps something different?
Yeah, they were. Very spontaneous. But in a technical way. So it was like you can go at a piece in many different ways to get a character. It shouldn't just be method or technique or whatever. You can harness little bits every single where and put them in there to make a very cohesive, three-dimensional and interesting character for the audience to be like really involved with.
Oh, thank you. So you, Lillian, have been involved with the company now in a number of different ways.
Yep.
What do you think it is, if anything, that makes the Queensland Shakespeare Ensemble unique among independent theatre companies?
The word ensemble. So you have got your core that continue to work together, doing almost professional development, but you do projects to explore different aspects of the whole acting genre, like clowning or stuff like that, where you have the time and the facility to really look into that and then consequently bond as a company. So it's like the old fashioned, which is what I really loved learning about in my youth. Rep, like even in Shakespeare's day, where you would live, work, everything together. So therefore, when you're on stage, you've got people you can trust and you have this relationship that's organic, and it shows when you're watching something. It shows when you look at a play, when all the actors and characters mesh. You can spot the difference when they don't, do you know?
Yep.
So I think Queensland Shakespeare Ensemble, because you guys do work together, you do put a lot of time into your projects, into making making every aspect of the ensemble continues to grow. It doesn't stagnate. Your meetings, you look at every single aspect of it, community engagement, different projects to buoy you up between plays, looking at plays, doing play readings, that sort of thing. That is the difference, I think, to other companies that maybe come together once in a while to put on a play. And there is a big difference with that.
So, as you said, it is a little bit old school. It's a bit of an old-fashioned approach.
Yeah.
So, in a community like our own, in the time and place that we live in, what are the benefits of an ensemble, specifically the Queensland Shakespeare Ensemble, for the broader community now?
All right. For the broader community. All right. So you get different people coming to see the show. Very many diverse groups. All are welcome. We have the time to solicit those groups to come to see us. But then if they've got ideas, which something has just sparked where one of your members was working with somebody else, and out of that came workshops that are going to be brought down to Yamba, and what's that place near Yamba? Ballina and stuff like that. So that is bringing your ethos, your teachings down to a community that would never have had access to that before. But because each member, and you're so well established, and you look at every aspect of community when you're putting shows on, like Old Folks Home coming to see us and stuff like that, it leaves you guys very open to people giving suggestions to you. And therefore, you have the time and ability to actually mine those suggestions and create something from them, which a lot of places don't.
Oh, interesting. Thank you. What would you say to someone who got it into their mind to donate to the QSE annual appeal?
I would say do it and don't think twice about it. This money is not wasted. This is no profits here. It is directly ploughed back into every single project we do, which goes to try and enhancing and enriching every part of the community that we inhabit. And it's such a worthwhile thing to do. Everybody gets something out of it. Even if you're just coming to see the play for one night, you get something directly from the play to you that buoys you up. It lifts your spirits. It lifts you out of the ordinary. Other aspects are Shakespeare Beyond, Shakespeare in the Community, all those which money is ploughed back into, which has a direct link to helping those communities.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for sharing your experience with us so articulately and passionately. Is there anything else, given that this is your moment in the ring light, is there anything else you'd like to say to members of the broader community, of the broader QSE community?
Just that I have enjoyed and am enjoying my time at QSE. Absolutely no regrets. Challenging at times. It certainly takes you out of your comfort zones a lot. But then when you do something that's out of your comfort zone, you're buoyed up again. So again, something good about QSE. What else? I love the way that everybody who has been involved with QSE still remains in touch, no matter how or even how likely. It's like as soon as you join QSE, you've got all this new acquaintances and friends. I went to see a play the other night from a person that was in QSE a few years ago. So yeah, it's the community that comes with it. And it's telling that everybody who has been in QSE still keeps involved or in touch or involved in some way. So that does speak very highly of it.